Des Moines and all of Central Iowa, welcome to Mac's World Live. Mac's World is your world. Every day we talk about the issues and topics that matter most to you. And as always, it's your voice we want to hear in Mac's World. So join the conversation by calling 515-244-0077. And now, here's the host of Mac's World Live, J. Michael McCoy.
6 minutes after the hour of 3 o'clock on the 11th day of March in the Lord's year 2016. I'm J. Michael McCoy, and it's Friday, which means it's always more fun, at least 15%. Frank's not here. Does that make it like 30% more fun then?
Well, you stole my cell phone, so I don't know. I can't.
I did.
I
took his cell phone. Here, if you're watching on Webcast 1, Jill, look at this. See, this is his cell phone. This is Chris's expensive Apple phone. I think I want to. Oh, can I break into this?
No, you can't even get past the password.
Oh, I know what your password is.
You do?
Your unlock code, yeah. But I wouldn't do that. That'd be unkind. But yeah, you're like my 15-year-old grandson. We're sitting here doing a radio show, which millions of people have the opportunity to view and listen to, and you're like a kid over there. And what were you trying to do on your phone just now?
I was going to play a card game.
Right. See, you weren't even looking up facts for the show. You were going to play a card game while on the show.
It's my favorite card game. It's called Scopa. It's a traditional card game in Italy. It's fantastic.
Are you that good at radio that you can do two things at once? And
no, I was going to kill time while I waited. You know, we don't do show prep. So if we did show prep, I knew what we were talking about. And so I don't. You do.
Okay,
you do.
I do show prep.
Bob, do you know what we're going to talk about today?
No.
But
Okay.
see, Bob and I have been together long enough that Bob has a skill and a talent that he's great. I mean, he's wonderful.
Yeah,
he doesn't need. Do you know what the sermon is when Michael Mudloff begins the service on Sundays? Do you know what the sermon is?
No, but I am not called to participate in it. I'm receiving information from Michael. And I'm taking notes. Here, I thought, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that I was expected to participate. And might I mention for those who are listening, and we thank you so much for listening, and I apologize that we're taking our marital problems on the radio, but Bob has his laptop in front of him.
Yeah.
And he's doing junk on the internet all the time.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's always paying attention and researching the show. He's watching the chat. He's watching the Service Legends text line at 515-809-0993. He looks up things that I need him to look at. He's never over there playing. What were you going to do again? Play a card game?
Yeah, but I also do that on my phone. What I'm saying is I use it to collect data upon the show.
You don't.
I did.
You just admitted a minute ago you were going to use it to play a card game.
But we weren't on the air yet.
We were too on the air. The guy was saying citizens of Laverne.
Hey, by the way, if you
I love your voice, by the way.
Yeah, it's in high form today.
Yeah, it's squeaky.
It's in high form. Yeah, absolutely. Scopa, S-C-O-P-A is the card game. It's fantastic. Traditional card game played in Italy. It's fantastic.
Yeah, one of the things you
highly recommend it.
One of the things you may not know about Chris Roloff is Chris is now if there's a correct title for it, you correct me, but I would call you a master of board games.
I'm a board game geek.
Yeah, I mean, you own dozens of board games and other games.
Shy of 200.
Wow.
North of 100.
Right. And so rather than your family sitting around at night watching the boob tube, you actually get them engaged into games.
We play a lot of board games around my house. Plus, and some of the games I play are heavier strategy games, so they're not necessarily just games that you would play with your family unless your family's into heavier strategy games. But
is your wife into heavier strategy games?
She plays some medium weight games. Yeah, okay. She doesn't generally
not heavyweight though, like Chris Rowe. I'm a heavyweight board game.
No,
geek.
I mean she just She could play them. It's just not. She doesn't enjoy them.
When you want to be challenged, how do you? Is there other people around Des Moines that play games at the high, low, the heavy, low weight, heavyweight game master geek?
Yes, there are. There are several clubs. There are several groups.
Really?
In fact, there's a group that meets every Monday night in Johnston. In fact, they start at 5. I don't get to go very often because I'm usually right here.
Well, you can go early on Mondays.
I have gone over there with those guys. There's a group of guys that get together in Ankeny on Tuesdays. Most days of the week, you can find a group of people playing board games. Yeah.
And where do you meet? Usually public places?
Yeah, the one on Mondays, I don't know if the guys, I'm not going to tell you because I don't know if they want everybody to know. I mean, it's not
you don't
my
have
thing.
to tell me where, but it's not at a house. Most usually.
Right. However, I say that. However, the game group I go to most regularly, which is about twice a month, I actually go to, is at a house. They're friends of ours. But my wife goes, or my daughter goes. We're friends.
It's a family outing thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we play some heavier games there if we can.
All right. Well, let's not talk about because nobody cares.
Settlers of Catan, Ticket to Ride. Those are games you might have heard of. If you've heard of those are the kinds of games I'm talking about.
It's almost as bad as talking sports.
Yeah, really. I agree. And he's as passionate about it as that.
Yeah, no, I am.
All right.
Except I actually do the thing. I don't just watch it.
It's
different.
I have a very special guest scheduled to come in at 4 o'clock. Now, one of the requests I get a lot on our website at 993thetruth.com is, can you tell me who your guests are going to be? So Monday, here's this guy, and Tuesday, this young lady, and Wednesday, this couple. And I don't do that because I don't want to put people under pressure to have to keep the appointment if something comes up in their life. So if he and I, she and I, they and I are the only people that know about it, if for whatever reason they can't come or they don't show up, then they don't have to be embarrassed publicly. So I'm just going to tell you, if the people that I have booked for the next hour come, you're going to enjoy it a lot. It's a nice Friday. It's not a political topic. It's just going to be a fun, theological, fun topic. And so as soon as they get here, I'll tell you who they are and that they're going to do that. Because I thought they were going to come in early. But anyway. All right, let's talk about some news. You folks on the east side were without power a little bit today. And that's because a car rolled off the highway this morning. And what did it roll through? A power line.
Wow.
I mean, like the whole Transformers and everything fell to the ground, and there were 400 people without power, and as of 2 o'clock, there were only like 47 customers that did not have power yet. The other thing I want to let you know, if you are a East Sider and you're running around on East Side this weekend, Union Pacific train cars went off the track about 10 this morning, blocking traffic from Dean Avenue to Hubble.
Wow.
That's a big intersection. Dean Avenue from East 18th Street to East 22nd Street is closed and will remain so until 6 a.m. Monday. Wow, that's going to mess up. Now, see, if this was State Fair, they'd get that cleaned up right away because that's a main thoroughfare into the fair. So those are a couple of the stories. Also, the Drake pole vaulting is moving inside again this year, and a touching story that was on Channel 13. Well, I don't want to blow it, but this really great dad and daughter, they have a wonderful relationship. He has this series of medical emergencies over a short period of time, and he goes into a coma. And so his daughter, who is scheduled to marry her husband, and they've been together like 6 years. This is in Des Moines, by the way. And they're getting married in June. As she stated, and I'll read, she's a daddy's girl, and so they got married in his hospital room, and then after that, they unplugged him. So, in many ways, very happy, and in many ways, oh, so sad. But kudos to the guts of that young lady. Her name is Nicolina, and I'll bet you right now you know who I'm talking about because there aren't a lot of Nicolinas around there. I don't know. It was just a real touching story, and I thank Channel 13 for bringing it to us. All right. Wow. the last 48 hours in politics changed. I don't want to make that dramatic statement that said changed everything, but man, it changed the lay of the land and the way the Republican and Democrat primaries that are going to be held. You know, we have Super Tuesday 2 on Tuesday.
Right.
Florida, Ohio, some other states. We've had 2 endorsements of Donald Trump in the last 2 weeks. The first, of course, Chris Christie, former governor, he's current governor of New Jersey. And then yesterday, Ben Carson.
That was this morning. Yesterday, they said that he was going to. He actually officially did it this morning. I mean, the official endorsement came this morning.
And I watched the press conference, and wow. But anyway, did anybody else see the press conference this morning? Am I the only? You did a little bit? Good.
I did a little bit, yeah.
All right. We'll talk about that today. And the question I'm going to ask you is, are you warming up to a Trump for president season? In other words, we're going to go to a convention here in Cincinnati or Cleveland, someplace in Ohio. And we're going to come out of that convention with a nominee. And unless there's some establishment trickery, which I wouldn't even know. I mean, we have superdelegates on the Republican side, but they're not like the superdelegates on the Democratic side. Unless there's some trickery or Donald Trump does something that finally everybody goes, oh, he is a jerk. I don't want him as president. He's going to be our nominee. So if you have not been a Donald Trump fan, are you warming up to him? I just want you to call in 515-244-0077 and let me know, yay or nay. Are you warming up to the Donald? We're live here in Mac's World. Thanks for listening. Love this job. Couldn't do it without you. Right here on 993thetruth.com.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
Hey everybody, I brought Northern Lights Pizza! And it's got Graziano sausage!
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for their opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast 1 Live.
"21 minutes after 3 o'clock, 3:21, 11th day of March in the Lord's year 2016. You know, I got to tell you, if you are a new listener to this radio show, be prepared to have fun. Even when we're talking about serious subjects, be prepared to have fun. One of the things that we have at this radio station that I've always tried to implement at all the stations I've been lucky enough to be a part of is we have fun. Because life is too serious when the mics come on. We have to cover deaths, and we have to cover suicides, and we have to cover murder, and we have to cover people who do terrible things to children and women and men and boys and your mothers and your fathers and your grandparents. If you don't have fun when the mics aren't on, as well as when the mics are on, life's just too serious. Well, before I get to Corey's on the phone. He wants to answer the Trump question. This is a very sad moment in our studio because today I gave a very special gift to Chris, a living gift. You know, anybody could get him like a thing of Annie M's. What are those pretzel things that he likes? Or a board game or a cup of coffee. I always make coffee, and he complains my coffee isn't any good. So today, you know what I gave him? Bob, go ahead and tell him what I gave him.
You mean the Ladybug?
Yeah. I gave him a live Ladybug. A living, breathing creation of God. And not only a creation, a beautiful creation from God. And what did he allow this? And by the way, I named the Ladybug Ladybird Bug after Ladybird Johnson. And she's alive.
She's alive.
She is alive.
She's alive. She's moving.
Come here, Ladybird. Come on, back to Daddy. So anyway, he dropped her what would be equivalent to the Ladybug, 45 stories. So almost 500 feet. And she hadn't moved until just now. She's running across the table. And you see where she's coming? She's coming back to Papa. She's coming back to Daddy. You going to put that on your Facebook page? A picture of Ladybird Bug?
Yes. Okay.
Let's go to the phones where Corey is standing by. Corey, you're live in Max World. How you doing, cowboy?
Doing okay. How are you?
Good. So things are changing. It looks inevitable that Donald Trump is going to get the nomination. Yes, things could happen where he wouldn't, but unlikely. The first question I have is, were you a supporter of Donald Trump's? Is that a yes or a no?
I've always been I've been a supporter of all of the candidates because I think it's important that we get somebody that can be elected nominated, and so I kept an open mind. I've been a Rubio guy for a while.
Me too.
And I like Marco Rubio. He seems like a nice guy. He's articulate and smart and has some good ideas, and faith is important to him, and I think that's something that I was really drawn to. But then in the bigger picture, the most important thing in this election is defeating whoever the Democratic nominee is. It doesn't matter who it is. We have to put somebody in there who can beat him. And Donald Trump certainly is not the perfect candidate. He's got a checkered past. He's been married a couple times and probably hasn't done some things that are really all that moral. But he doesn't have anybody in his back pocket. He's not an elected official. He doesn't owe anybody anything. He doesn't. He says it the way it is. I kind of changed the way I thought about Donald Trump during Super Tuesday when he was giving his speech. And I'm sure you guys listened to it, and I thought it was a great speech.
Yeah, are you talking about the kind of press conference speech thing?
Yeah, it was different. It was nice, and it was just what I like about Donald Trump and like all the Republicans, unlike Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, is that they get snowball lightweight questions, and our guys take on these tough questions, and Donald Trump put his neck out there and he takes tough questions, and he did it in a national arena, and I really like that. What I didn't like about it in the first 3 minutes is that he did his typical name calling. He called Rubio lightweight, and he just uses language that's tough that I don't like. But if you notice that shortly after that, he sounded very presidential, and he talked about the things that he wanted to do, and I really like that about him. And I just wish these guys would go away from the name calling. I don't understand why they beat each other up so bad.
Well, now last night, did you watch last night?
I did not.
There was not one, Corey, not one name calling. All four of those gentlemen, it was the reverse of the last debate.
And I know Rubio has kind of said that he's going away from it. He said his wife didn't like it, his kids were embarrassed. That's just not who Marco Rubio was. I don't know who told him that he needed to act more like Donald Trump, but that was the wrong thing for him to do. Now, do I think that if he would not have gone to the name calling, and joking and small hands comments, do I think that Marco Rubio would have won or would be winning now? The answer to that question is no. I don't think that he would be winning. So I don't think it made any difference at all. But I do think that it kind of made him a little bit of a smaller person for doing it. Now, does that make? We say that it's okay for Donald Trump to do it, but not okay for Marco Rubio. But that's who Donald Trump is, and that's not who Marco Rubio is. And so I was kind of disappointed in him. But most important for me is somebody who can win. And nationally, I think Donald Trump probably has the best chance of winning. And I think he's got some good ideas, some things that I stand for. Getting control of the immigrants, lowering taxes, sealing up the border, a strong Middle East, building up the military, taking care of our vets. All those things I care about. And so that's why I'm warmed up to Donald Trump, and I will support him.
Corey, did you happen to watch the press conference this morning when Ben Carson gave his speech and talked about Donald Trump?
No, sir, I was working.
All right, well, thank you for working. One of the interesting things that was said was Ben Carson said, and I have had the opportunity to interview Ben, and I've had the opportunity to sit with him by himself for, 10 minutes maybe. And I've had an opportunity to hear him at a speech. And I've had an opportunity to, what was the last one? Oh, I was at a house party with him, so I got some time there.
Nice.
Yeah, it is nice. That's kind of and I don't say that out of arrogance. That's just one of the perks that comes with this job. Some people will call it a perk. I can tell you some presidential candidates I've interviewed over the years that I had to, because I don't know if you know this, Corey. Once you interview one, you have to offer it to the rest.
Sure.
I can't choose. I like this guy. I don't like this guy. So you're getting on and you're never getting on. So there's.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, the thing I believe in my heart is that Ben Carson's honest. Now, to me, honest is that they never tell a lie. Honest is when you tell a lie or when you misspeak, you immediately step up, correct it, and take responsibility for your actions. To me, that's what honest is. Yeah.
Yeah, be a man. Yeah.
And so Ben Carson said the most interesting thing today. He didn't word it very well, but he said there are two Donald Trumps. There is the Donald Trump that we see who is bombastic, arrogant, pompous, long-winded, go on and on and on and on. And then there's the Donald Trump you get to know when nobody else is watching. And he loves his children, and he is kind and polite, and you really can't even get the switch turned on. That only comes on when the cameras are on or whatever it is. He's in front of a big group. Now, what happened later was really sad because the reporter said, so Donald, are there really two Donald Trumps? And Donald Trump, who has no filters, incoming or outgoing, said, yeah, there are two Donald Trumps. And he didn't explain it very well. But I think what people hopefully got from that today is that we all play roles in our life. ROLES, roles. You play a role as a father, as a son, as a daughter, as a mother, as a grandmother, as a granddaughter, employee, passenger in car, shopper, whatever they are. What they should have done today, I think, is said Donald Trump, like any other human being, plays separate roles for the people that he has in his life. And the role that we see on public is bombastic, arrogant, pompous, long-winded, etc. And the guy who Donald Trump is when nobody's looking, which they always say, that's when you show your character, right?
Right.
That Donald Trump is a sweetheart of a guy.
Well, I think we all kind of hope that the person that we choose to be the president of the United States has got a soft side. You know, he cares about his family, he cares about his church, he cares about his community, he cares about his pets. You know, that's the kind of guy that we all hope that we can elect. But you know, in this political situation arena, the way this country is going, somebody has got to stop it. We spend too much money. We allow too many people to come in that we don't know who they are. We give away too much stuff for free. We don't make people responsible for themselves. People blame each other, blame other people for every little thing that happens to them. And that kind of stuff has just got to go away. And I don't know if electing Donald Trump makes that stuff go away. But I can tell you with 100% certainty that if we elect Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, none of this will change. It will get worse. If not get worse, it will stay exactly the same. And it's not the America that I love. It is an America that I loathe, that I have zero faith in. I just fear. I have 3 young children, and I fear for how we're going to leave it to them. We have to keep our people motivated to work. We have to keep our people motivated to make themselves better. And if we give them excuse after excuse after excuse to not do that, this country is heading in a direction that will be horrible for everyone.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I've got 6 grandchildren. I think I'll probably end up with 8 or 9 before life is over, and I don't want any of them to have to face the America that we're currently building, because there's no shelf life, there's no longevity. It won't even be generational. So
no, it won't, and it just has to stop. And starting with the president of the United States, you know, it's a good start. But man, I just am just so fearful. So
well, let's be prayerful. And if we're with God and we're holding him tight and we're holding Jesus by the ankles as the foot at the cross, and our tears, you know, mix with his blood, then you know what? That fear will go away. And we'll know that no matter what happens, it's his will and it's all going to be good because he turns everything for good.
I agree. And every time I look at my kids, I think that, and I try to put a smile on my face, and we go play catch, and we rake the leaves or do whatever, or we just have fun. And I try to keep myself optimistic when I'm around them. But boy, I really hope that this country turns around and the voters realize that more of the same will be more of the worst.
Yeah.
And I just hope that America chooses wisely come November.
All right, Corey, thanks for listening. I always appreciate your voice here in Mac's World, and I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you again.
All right, well, thank you, sir.
You bet. All right, phone lines, 515-244-0077. Glad to hear from you at any time. We're just asking if the last 48 hours has softened you on Trump, or are you still hardcore? No matter what happens, I'll stay away from the polling place if my choices are Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. You can also text us on the Service Legend Truth text line at 515-809-0993. Ladybug Bird has gone back to sleep, I think. We'll keep you updated, and it is on Chris Roloff's Facebook page. Live here on The Truth.
Northern Lights Pizza's amazing garlic butter makes amazing breadsticks. Now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer. I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Hobbs.
And I'm the service manager,
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed, fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money-back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money-back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
22 minutes before the top of the hour. Salem Radio Network news at the top right now. 3:38, 11th day of March. What a beautiful day. It's going to hit almost 70 this afternoon. Going to stay sunny and wonderful all weekend. Now, I'm sure Ed Wilson would tell us in the 13-day forecast that something unfun is coming. I just want it to be spring-like for Easter weekend. You know, after Easter weekend, if we want to go to heck in a handbasket with snow and all that, I don't care. There's something about an Easter with a sunrise and some sunshine and a warm day just kind of makes sense. It just kind of fits the mood.
Well, it only went to like next Friday, and I think it was supposed to be a high of 46, which is still not bad.
No, that'd be all right. That'd be all right. All right, now, Ryan, can you zoom in on this portrait of this incredible guest we have today? Ladybug bird, or should it be Ladybird bug? Ladybug bird.
You're naming it.
And this little fun young lady snuck into our studio today, and so I gave her to my friend Chris as a gift, and he dropped her on the hard surface. I'm sure it was head first. We'll replay the video. And I've measured that it was probably equal to 500 feet. Now, she has moved around. Yeah, you can go ahead and back out now. She has moved around, but not lately. Hey, baby, come on, see Daddy. There she moves. When she hears my voice, she moves.
She ran away from your bad breath, probably. That's what my guess was. You got really close to her, and she was like, oh, that's so nasty. Like that.
So anyway, that's one of the reasons we're having more fun today is we have a ladybug named Ladybug Bird. Ladybird Bug. It would be Ladybird Bug. It'd be probably Ladybird Ladybug.
Well, entomologists actually call them ladybird beetles.
Really? Because they're from the beetle family.
Or lady beetles. That's what entomologists call them. You see, that's why I have my computer here. I can really sound smart.
I don't think Ringo Starr would ever agree that there were lady beetles, though.
These insects are not true bugs. Just want you to know.
What are they?
Well, I can't even pronounce the scientific name. They're considered useful insects.
But they're still insects.
Yes, because they feed on aphids or scale insects, which are pests in gardens, agricultural fields, orchards, and similar places like KTIA studio or, and so forth.
But why did God choose to make them so beautiful? Why did he need to give them this orange shell with these black spots or yellow shell with black spots? I mean, that just tells me that God is just this incredible creative person. And I'm looking really close at her face. She's got the cutest face.
Well,
she's got eyebrows, eyes. Do they have noses? Do they breathe?
Hey, is she wearing the station T-shirt?
No, I couldn't get it on her.
Oh, okay.
It was too big.
It doesn't say, but a lot
even a small.
Brian Packard, our guest next hour, he could make one for her.
Could he? Yeah, even the smalls that we have just weren't very good. Well, anyway, we'll give you the updates on Ladybug, Ladybird.
Yeah, Ladybird beetle.
I don't like the name beetle, though. Beetles are... Do beetles do anything good? When I think of a beetle, I think of kind of dirty and... No, I'm thinking cockroach. Never mind.
Yeah.
Maybe beetles are okay.
Beetles are okay.
All right. 515-244-0077. That's the number you can call. We're asking you if the last 48 hours has made any difference on Donald Trump. You say, well, what happened in the last 48 hours? Well, we had maybe it's not 48, maybe it's 3 days. Tuesday, we had some primaries in which the majority of them went straight to Donald Trump. I think Rubio did win one. I think Cruz did win one. We know that Bernie beat Hillary in Michigan by 0.4 of a point. And Hillary isn't sweating the bucket because I just think she's got this whole thing set up with superdelegates. I think she knows she can't lose. And so then you had Ben Carson coming out and endorsing Donald Trump today, and then another 55-minute press conference that Donald Trump commanded a worldwide audience, and it cost him how much? Nada. This guy is a master at what he does. And Ben Carson revealed something that Donald Trump later agreed to, that he plays different roles based on the different people he's around. Now, hold on before you find fault in that. You do too. You play the role of a father or a mother. You play the role of a grandmother or a grandfather. You play the role as a child. You play the role as a church member. You play the role as a lover to your spouse. You play a role as a neighbor. You are not the same person all the way around. I've never seen that. I don't think that's possible. If I was a psychiatrist or a trained psychologist, I believe that could be verified. So we all play different roles. Now, the thing we can't handle is that one role is an alpha male and the other role is whatever the opposite of that is.
Mac, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
An additional one. So when Donald Trump called Ben Carson a psychopath,
that was asked about in the press conference this morning.
Does Donald Trump still believe that Ben Carson is a psychopath?
Here's what I can tell you was said. All right, I can conclude from what was said that the answer would be no.
Right.
Both Ben Carson and Donald Trump said, this is not our chosen field. We both do. So I'm a brain surgeon, and I'm a entrepreneurial builder guy. Politics requires things said that you wish you didn't have to say, and that you get to apologize for later. Ben Carson was asked if Donald Trump apologized to him, and Ben Carson's answer was, "We made we mended fences, and I have forgiven him." So there you go. Now here's how I can compare it. You and I are a little different on the radio. I'll go back to Bradshaw. When I used to work with Bradshaw, I would say things to and about Bradshaw that when the mics went off, I'd say, I'm sorry. I know that just sounded horrible. That's okay, buddy. It's radio. I mean, that's what we're here to do. The Donald believes that you need to run down other people who are your opposition.
But that works, unfortunately, amongst the electorate in the United States, unfortunately. We can say insulting things about other people running for presidency, and that seems to resonate with some of the voting populace. How is that going to resonate with another leader of another country if I say something like that, or if Donald Trump says something like that about them?
Let's go to the phones. Maybe Paul can answer that for us. 515-244-0077. Paul, you're live in Mac's World. What do you think about that answer or that question that Chris just gave?
About the double person, like Donald Trump had mentioned?
Yeah, and in America, we can kind of handle yo-yos like that, but how's it going to be when he talks to Putin like that, or when he talks to, it's not, or Israel, or Iran, or whoever it is?
I'm sure he talks a little bit different in a business meeting, in a board meeting or something like that. I'm sure he doesn't degrade anybody or anything like that. Remember, Jesus Christ himself was a double person. He is human one day and godly the next, and then when he died on the cross, he's now in his original state where he first got started from. So I'm hoping that Ben Carson gets the chance to testify and maybe even change Donald Trump's heart a little bit.
See, that's that. And Paul, I'm about out of time, but I appreciate you calling. You're welcome. In fact, I'll just leave you on hold if you want to come back. Ryan, put him on hold so the call won't come through. But see, that's what I said last night. Steve Dace put a post on Facebook that wasn't very nice about Ben Carson now going over to the Trump camp. And I said, what if it's God's plan that Donald Trump trusts Ben Carson's heart, and Ben Carson's able to bring him the gospel, and eventually Donald accept the Lord? Now, wouldn't that be fun to watch as a president over 8 years? That would be a good game. All right, we're coming back.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Rockton Prevention is celebrating 25 years of creating a caring community. We want to say thank you to the tens of thousands of Rock High School mentors that have carried our message of health, love, and encouragement to over 1.5 million children, teachers, and parents. Our mentors teach children methods and skills to prevent bullying and drug use. Thank you to all the school administrators, teachers, and counselors for the opportunity to serve you. Rock on, fair citizens. Rock on. This is Pat McManus for Rockton Prevention, the Richard O. Jacobson Foundation, and this station.
Northern Lights Pizza, your home of the tasty crust. Our garlic butter sauce now available in 12-ounce bottles at Northern Lights, Hy-Vee, and Graziano's.
Northern Lights Pizza. Hi, my name is David Burrier, your Hope Coach. I host a live weekly talk show called I've Been There every Thursday afternoon at 5:30, right here on webcast1live.com, and on my weekly radio program Saturday mornings at 10 on Truth Network 99.3 FM. I interview common, everyday people who have survived incredible life challenges and who testify to God's faithfulness in the midst of their storms. So join me as we bring a message of hope and encouragement. Everybody needs hope. I know, because I've been there.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
10 minutes for the top of the hour, top of the Inner Salem Radio Network News, and then I'm going to introduce you to a young man by the name of Jeff Packard. And Jeff has a blog that you can look up. It's Aimlessly Shameless. And you can find it at shameless.wordpress.com, and that shame is SHAIM. You have Asperger's, and he's going to help us understand Asperger's. That's one of his passions in life, and so that's why he's here today. So if you know anybody who has a friend or a family member who has Asperger's, call them and tell them now to turn on 99.3. If they can't listen now, I will post this program on my Facebook later, and I'll tag it with Asperger's. But this is going to be a great show, and the phone lines will be open for you to be able to call in, share your story about Asperger's or your family members, ask questions of Jeff. It's going to be a wonderful show that's coming up next hour. Paul, I left you on hold. Thank you, Paul, for staying on hold. So did you caucus for Trump?
No, I didn't. I caucused for Ben Carson.
All right. So what are you going to do now that your guy, like my guy, is about gone?
Well, that's not necessarily the whole deal. I watched the debate for about half of it, and then I went to bed. But when I was watching it, there's 4 people right now that actually have a pretty good handle on various things. That's including Trump. Trump's not willing to just sell everybody down the river and kick them to the curb. I notice he is listening to people and things like that, and somewhat developing himself, especially in the politics side of things. But I'm depending on, like, Ben Carson to tell me the truth from his perspective on how he feels about this person, just like I would you as a news reporter or anything else about how your interaction went, to help me understand, because I probably will never get that position in front of the man. So that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now you have somebody standing a heartbeat away from the man running for president, and both you and I trust what Ben Carson would say.
I would like to see him as a VP or a senior advisor. Same thing with Rubio or Cruz in there, too, in the office. And I like the joke that was passed back and forth. I like Rubio's response on the environment and global warming, that kind of foolishness that's talked about.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that.
Yeah, it was a much better debate to watch last night. That if we could get the Republicans to that, but see, Donald is just going to rip Hillary apart. I mean, it's going to start all over again. I
agree with you. If the 4 of those guys actually stick together, neither one of the Democrats that are running will have any ammunition there. That's for sure.
Paul, as always, I enjoy hearing you. I could hear from you every day, but when you do hear and you do call, you always say good things. I appreciate you, brother.
I do too. Take care of yourself.
You bet. Thanks for calling in. 515-244-0077. I during the break, I was going to bring this up, but I wanted to get back to Paul real quick. But the Ladybug, it was a little offended by something I said. And that was, I named her Ladybird. Well, you know what her name is? Who's one of the most influential people in the whole world over the last 90 years that we laid to rest today? Ladybug's name is Ronald. Or I'm sorry, Ladybug's name is Nancy.
Yes, Nancy.
So this is, I mean, I don't know how bug world works, but Nancy.
Why would you assume Ladybug is a lady?
Because she talks with a high voice.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think.
I don't think a guy would have a voice like this unless I was Truman Capote.
So I haven't. I mean, this is a family radio show. I haven't turned her over and checked it out.
And you didn't bring a microscope either.
Well, I don't think I'd need that. I mean, have you ever looked at a ladybug close up? They're beautiful. Now, Jeffrey, step up in front of that microphone for just a second, because I asked a little bit ago why her shell was orange with black spots, and you actually know. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, why?
I'm trying to think back to the books I used to read about it as a kid, and more or less what it is, it serves as a warning. The bright colors and the easily distinguishable pattern serve as a warning to would-be predators that, hey, the ladybug does not taste very good and or is poisonous.
Oh. Is the ladybug poisonous?
I can't remember which one it was.
Chris, here, I want you to eat the ladybug.
I'm not going to eat Nancy.
Eat the ladybug.
I will not eat Nancy.
And then if something happens to you, we know it's poisonous.
I'm not going to eat. I respect Nancy the ladybug too much to eat her.
See, I don't think they're poisonous because as a kid, we played with ladybugs all the time. Played with, remember, what were the lightning bugs? Remember those? You ever put lightning bugs in a jar?
But did you eat them?
No, but I think if they had been poisonous, my mother or grandmother or somebody would have said, don't eat the ladybugs or the lightning bugs. They're poisonous.
I don't know about that, but guess the total lifespan of a ladybug.
How long?
Do you have to guess?
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
No. How about you?
91 years.
No. Anyone else?
Jeff?
Well, I was only interested in ladybugs and other insects when I was a kid. I didn't care about things like numbers. I just wanted to know what was poisonous.
Yeah, wise thing to know.
I'll tell you. Total lifespan is 1 to 2 years on average.
All right. So we could have her in the studio, but how do you keep them? What does it say on the Google, how do you care for a ladybug?
Yeah, how do you eat one?
No.
I mean, what do they eat?
You've got to bring branches in
He even
here.
laughs like a girl today. You bring branches in from outside.
Yeah.
And put them in like a jar with a hole in the top for air.
No, just let them crawl around the branches. They'll be happy.
And then they eat the branches.
They'll eat something in there.
Oh, wait, you said aphids. Aphids.
What's
you said
an
that
aphid?
earlier.
Well, yes, they do eat. So
that's a flower, isn't it? Is an aphid a flower?
No, it's a...
No, an aphid is a very, very small, much smaller than even most ants insect that actually eats. It eats crops and plants and things.
Oh, so that's a bug. Another bug.
Yes,
oh,
yes, it's another insect.
I thought it was a heart thing, an aphib.
Yeah.
That's what I
defibrillator, yeah.
Bug is a real scientific term, Chris. Just want you to know.
Bug is a
All
very
right.
real. Well, okay.
We are coming up on the top of the hour in which Salem Radio Network News will update us with their extended newscast, and then at 6 minutes after 4, we'll return. My guest will be Jeff Packard. His blog is shameless.wordpress.com, and shameless is HAAIM, SHAIM, less. And he has Asperger's, and his passion is to be able to explain to people Asperger's, and so they're better understood, and that's what we're going to do today. And if you know somebody that's got Asperger's or a family that deals with it, man, tell them to tune in right now to 99.3 FM, or they can go on the web and go to Webcast One. That's Webcast Live.com. And you'll be able to catch the show. We'll be back. And Salem Radio Network News is next with my little ladybug Nancy and the rest of the zoo here today. Live. See, we're a real zoo today, Chris, because we have an animal.
We do have an animal.
Yeah. All right, we're coming back live here in Mac's World on The Truth.